I'm Mark Calley in Mr. Saltwater Tank, and this is Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. What happens when America's largest saltwater tank trade show invades America's largest city? Well, that's what happened this year when Reef-a-Palooza came to New York City. Now I'm here to see what went down. One ticket, please. Let's go inside and have a look around. Hang on, Mark. You have to wait in line just like everyone else. The crowd was gathering even before Reef-a-Palooza New York started, and once the doors opened, it was game on. First things first, work through the large crowd getting the sweet swag grab bags so that I can go inside. There was lots to see, and I looked for a familiar face to start my day. I like feeding all my saltwater fish nori or sheet algae, and one of my complaints about it is they take a couple bites, they rip it off the clip, and it makes a mess of your tank. I'm here with Julian Sprung looking at, looks like some kind of mesh accessory to your mag feeder to keep that from happening.
We call it perf feeder. It's a perforated pouch. Looks like just a sheet, but it opens up. And you can fold a piece of the sea veggies, put it in there, attach it to our mag feeder.
And then it sits on your tank.
And then it sits on the tank wall, and the fish can pick away at it and pull the seaweed through all the way. We have two different sizes. The larger size folds a little bit, moves in the water, and the fish can pick from both sides. Now, it's not just for the sea veggies, by the way. You can put frozen food in there. Saves you time. You don't have to thaw it out and then pour it in there. You just drop the block in. And they work on it for a while, so it imitates a natural foraging type behavior. One of the nice things about it, too, is you can put more than one. Since it's so thin, you could load them up and put two different types of food on the clip.
Now, one thing I've noticed with quarantining fish, especially tangs, they're not used to eating off a clip. You put the nori in there and they don't know what to do with it.
Yes.
But you're saying you have this accessory for it as well.
That's
which
right.
Get them used to eating off, let's say, a rock.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Mark, because any device like this, when you put it in, it's a foreign object in their habitat. They may be scared by it initially.
Right.
It takes them a while. They need to become acclimated to knowing that it means food. This device is called a feed stone. It connects with our magnetic mag feeder. These will float. And the idea is to put a gel food on that. And then the fish will look at it. It'll look like a piece of coral or like live rock. And they can pick the gel food out of the corallite polyps that are there.
So butterfly fish, angels that are
correct
eating that manner.
Yes, and any other fish that sees them grazing is going to say, oh yeah, there's food there, and is going to go after it. Correct.
I'll personally be testing the perf feeder, and I'll let you know my feedback in the future. Right around the corner from Julian was someone from my neck of the backwoods. It used to be that an external overflow was, well, just an external overflow, but I'm here with Rick Lowe from Synergy Reef Systems. You're telling me that this modular overflow that you've created is different than other versions I might have seen.
That's correct, Mark. What we have here is basically a two-part system. You have the external rear box and you have the internal front box. Internally, you just have the front box. It has a removable magnetic weir, which there's no other manufacturer on the market that makes an overflow that has a magnetic weir.
But this is magnets that's going to rust.
Incorrect. These are ceramic ferrite and they're non-corrosive magnets.
So they're not going to rust, they're not going to leach.
Correct. Yep. We've tested them against other magnets, neodymium, different versions of magnets.
Take me through the backside of this, how this works.
The backside, you have a 3-drain system. A full siphon, a partial siphon, and an emergency drain.
Okay.
The emergency drain obviously is used for emergencies.
Sure.
If something were to clog up, you have the first drain, which would, if that clogs, you have your second drain, and then you have your emergency.
And looks like these are 1-inch fittings. I'm a big fan of oversizing drains as a backup.
Sure.
I can get this 1.5 inches too.
We're working on a version where you can actually take the front box, remove it from this rear box, and put on 1.5 inch bulkheads as well.
So if we already have the front box, we already have this overflow, we're not stuck in the water with our external box. We just unscrew it, swap this out, and we can put in the larger drains if we want it.
Correct.
So then this is a 16-inch model. You're telling me there's larger versions coming.
There's a larger version coming. We're working on that now. ETA is approximately 2 months from now. So there is one coming.
Well, it looks slick, man. Definitely an improvement from other versions that I might have seen.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, we've been testing it for over 2.5 years, so.
So you've got some track record behind it.
Exactly. Yep. There's a lot of them out there, so we know how they work.
Perfect. Good job, man.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The raffle area was hopping and people were winning big time. Besides the tempting prizes in the raffle, there was lots of eye candy at Reef-a-Palooza, New York. And sometimes the things that catch your eye come out of left field. Terrence, there's some kind of sensor in the rock. What is that?
Well, that's actually our par monitoring kit. We came out with it this summer, and it measures the light in your aquarium.
So it's measuring this light?
Yeah. Pretty much you have this light sensor, which everybody kind of knows a par sensor more or less, right? But nobody wants to have a big ugly sensor in their tank, and if you want to monitor your par over time, now you can put this in your tank. We've got a custom-made piece of real reef rock that we had made for it.
And it's real reef, so it looks coral and algae, it's not white.
Day one, it doesn't stand out in your aquarium, it looks good in the aquarium.
Now, most time when I measure par, I gotta turn off the pumps, make everything still.
Right.
We're still getting readings even though with the pumps on.
Sure, so I mean, are you going to get some variance in the par readings? Absolutely.
Okay.
But what I've tried to tell people is basically, it's kind of like your ORP in your tank. You're not looking for a spot number when you're using it in this manner.
Okay.
What you're looking for is a trend, right? So you're looking to see, oh gee, I know that my lights are going to be at this depth between 90 and 120, okay, during the middle of the day.
Sure.
But hey, maybe I'm away on vacation, and now all of a sudden it's at 75. Gee, maybe one of my power supplies went out, maybe my light went out, maybe something else has gone under. Maybe my T5 lights are getting old.
Okay.
There's lots of different advantages for it.
So this is constantly monitoring. I'm guessing there's some kind of tie-in with Fusion for logging the results?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things with a standalone light sensor is like the days of old when you had a standalone ORP value. It's great. You can tell that your light's putting out this much, but you want to see it 24/7, and you might even want to see it against your lighting profile.
So we can do that now?
Absolutely. It's all in Apex Fusion.
All right, show me that.
All right.
So this is it.
Yeah, so basically, obviously, this is the Apex Fusion interface, right?
Yeah.
And in this configuration, we've got all the things that you measure over time here that you're used to, temperature, salinity, right? But now you see one that's called par. And you can see this graph obviously is flat on the bottom, which means, hey, it was last night, nothing was on after we left from last night. And now it's climbing back up. If you wanted to see that par information next to your actual lighting schedule, you go down right here to that outlet, which is the Hydra. You click on it. Now you can see, here's our lighting schedule, right?
Right.
Now you can compare anything in your lighting schedule to any parameter in your tank. So in this case, now it's par.
Sure.
Now you can see the lighting from yesterday all the way through to today as it's rising up to right now, up to about 121. And you'll see some peaks and valleys, maybe a little bit.
Right.
But that's normal.
Sure.
Especially if you got a lot of water turbulence.
And if the par is 110 or 120, it's not really making a difference.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly. And so by this, you might go, hey, you know what? Maybe I do want a little bit more, you know, at this time of the day. So you can click on that one and raise it up and go, okay, now I want to look tomorrow to see what that might be different.
And we can do this real time too and make our changes, see the par.
Yes, you could. Absolutely.
Okay.
And set it in real time.
Because a lot of, I mean, with LEDs, we have all this control. Certainly with Fusion, we have LED control. Now we can tweak things and see what the results are.
Now you get the feedback. Now you get the feedback.
Perfect. And it's more data gives us more information to make decisions.
And over time, you know, you change something, you don't know what you did before, you can go back now a week ago or what have you and say, man, what was the par that I had across the time and how much time during the day was I running it? You'll be able to see that in the par graph.
Okay.
You want to compare corals with friends, you know, that you're running, you can move the rock, it stays in place, move it to a different place in the tank. Now you can say, oh yeah, you know, that Euphilia that I have it running in my tank and it's about at 140 par in my tank.
Right.
You know, and say, yeah, and look, here's the schedule. It runs from 9 in the morning until this on my schedule. Here, screenshot it, give it to your friend.
Good, man. You guys are always coming up with neat stuff.
We try, you know, it's fun creating new products. It really is.
Well, stay busy then. Don't slack off during the summer months.
Yeah, I don't think so. Macna's just around the corner, buddy.
While I was on the topic of lighting, I found a new piece of lighting equipment that was not a new LED fixture. In fact, it's a throwback to an old yet viable reefing technique. T5 bulbs are making a big resurgence when it comes to lighting a saltwater tank, And Reef-Brite has combined LEDs with T5s, but Tulio, you're telling me there's something special about this T5 fixture.
Yes, what makes this fixture unique is the perfect parabolic reflector. With the utilization of this reflector, we're actually able to extract as much light as possible from the lamp itself and redirect it around. Most conventional T5 systems, most of the light transmitted is actually from the lower half of the bulb.
Okay.
Much of the other light is actually trapped within the fixture system.
Just bouncing back around.
Just restriking the lamp and bouncing back around.
So you guys can make it come down into your tank.
Absolutely, and direct it down in the aquarium where it belongs.
So you're getting more performance out of less light.
Oh yes, considerably more performance.
Because I was noticing this is only a 2-bulb system. Usually this would work for a smaller size tank, but you're telling me 2 bulbs will get the job done for even larger tanks.
Oh yes, typically with a T5 lamp, once you get over 24 inches, things get sketchy.
Sketchy in what regard?
In terms of light penetration, in terms of depth.
So under 24 inches, you're saying the light penetration is not as good on a T5s?
Typically, yes. Typically, to date, any T5 lamp has had difficulty penetrating past 24 inches, and with this system, we've now broken that barrier.
Now, is that usually made up with more bulbs? Because I know I have an 8-bulb T5 fixture over my tank now.
It has to do with the way photons are absorbed in water.
Okay.
And interaction with corals and other media and things like that. So even with the 8 lamps, optically the fixture hasn't changed. So while you'll cover the coverage area and you'll have the intensity within a given region, even that 8 lamp system, it would be very difficult to penetrate past 24 inches with those, with that existing architecture of reflector and lamp configuration.
So with this parabolic reflector, which I always tell people you want a parabolic reflector,
Right.
It's a better reflector. This is getting more light deeper down in the tank,
Absolutely.
breaking the T5 barriers.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So beyond light performance and penetration, Tulio, we also get a lot more performance on the lights now with controllability, where
Yes.
we can dim things. Is this controllable?
Oh, absolutely. The exciting thing about this fixture is out of the box, it is Apex ready. It has a standard Cat5 connector on the back of the fixture, so you use a standard network cable, you plug it into your Apex Neptune system, and you can control it using the variable speed ports on the Apex Neptune system.
So we can control the LEDs individual from the T5s,
Yep.
the outers and the inners.
Yep, yep. Or actually, if somebody chose to, they can control these 2 separately and these 2 separately. If they wanted to control these 2 separately or these 2 separately,
You can do that.
it's fully user configurable.
I'm definitely impressed by you guys always continuing to meld new technologies with older type technologies. T5s are certainly not dead by any sense of the word.
Kind of old school, you know, doing something new.
Definitely, and getting more performance out of
Yes.
the same light.
Yes.
Good job. This light looks promising, and my coral quarantine tank is a great place to test it out. Speaking of tanks, if you're looking for a mostly turnkey system, check these tanks out. When it comes to choosing a saltwater tank, you've got 3 basic options. All-in-one, which always leaves a lot to be desired, custom, and standard product lines. I'm here with Jerry Acuff from Planet Aquariums. We're looking at your crystalline series of tanks. This is nearly a complete package when it comes to a reef-ready saltwater tank build. Walk me through this thing.
Basically, you get the complete package, less the light fixture and a protein skimmer.
Okay.
It comes with a black acrylic overflow box with a glass liner. It comes with black fittings on your plumbing so you don't see the white through the teeth. Comes with the black fritting on the back, which is a little more heavy duty than a normal vinyl would be. It gets put on at the manufacturing process. Then you go up here to the top edge of the aquarium and you'll notice it has a G&P'd edge, also called a flat polished edge. Some people call it a diamond edge. This tank comes with a Starfire front as well, and then the black silicone, which helps hide all the algae that accumulates, keeps you from picking at it. 5 different colors of stand, basic style. Comes with an acrylic sump, your basic acrylic sump setup.
And this comes in several different sizes.
It comes in the 42 gallon, we have a 65 gallon, which is a 3-foot unit, and we have an 85 gallon, which is a 4-foot unit.
And they're all rimless.
All rimless. They are 20 inches front to back, 20 inches tall.
If you're looking for the rimless look with nearly a complete package, this is the way to get it done. So it takes a lot of that decision making off the table.
Correct. You can just basically go and say you want the 42 gallon crystalline, and it comes with everything. less the light fixture and the protein skimmer.
Now, how do we find this? Where do we order
You
this?
can go online to planetaquariums.com, or you can DFW Aquarium and Pond Supply out of Arlington, Texas.
And you can find a dealer there.
You can find a dealer there.
Once you got your reef-ready tank, well, you're going to need a sump. And this is Trigger Systems' Tideline line of sumps that has some features that I look for when I'm thinking about a sump for a tank. One of the things that stands out first, well, they've got 3 inlets here for drains. Then there's a lid over the filter sock area to reduce splashing and salt creep, and a full 7-inch filter sock, which makes it very easy to clean. Water then flows into the protein skimmer chamber and then into the center chamber, which you could use for a refugium, or if you have a larger skimmer, you can put it right in here. There are probe holders, and then there's also an adjustable rack here to set the water level right for your skimmer. Little sponge filter provides mechanical filtration, and then water flows into the return chamber as well. And it has holes pre-drilled for effluent lines for your 2-part dosing or from your calcium reactor. Now these come in 3 different sizes, 36, 48, all the way up to 72 inches. So if you've got a big tank, you're looking for a pre-manufactured sump, check out the Tideline series from Trigger.
Mark, you gotta leave.
No, I want to go back in.
You gotta leave.
There's more frags
You don't
for
have
me.
to go home, but you can't stay here, okay? Let's go.
God, could have stayed there all night. Those guys. Congratulations to Reef-a-Palooza, New York on a fantastic inaugural year. Can't wait to see what you all come up with next year. I'm Mark Kelly and Mr. Saltwater Tank. This has been Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Till next time, have a good one, enjoy your tanks, and know your tank personality. I'm going back in.